Om Shanti. Imbibe the virtues of sweetness and humility to become great. Proof of love. You will imbibe the virtue of sweetness in your life when you don't see anything of the past about yourself or others, and you make your sanskars easy. The virtue of easy natured souls is sweetness. Sweetness is visible in their eyes, their words, and their behavior. With the two virtues of sweetness and humility, you can become a constant world benefactor, a great donor, and a bestower of blessings, and easily give the proof of your love. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Avikti Parivar. Today's day 2. Imbibe the virtues of sweetness and humility to become great. Today's topic, proof of love. Pass with honor. Today's day 2. Replaying what happened. Sweet, sweet child, I do not allow any of your weaknesses to enter my heart. I forgive you. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti. You all must be feeling better, being sweeter than yesterday, right? Do everyone feel that sweetness from within? Because your own experience, your own feelings will definitely be different when you are sweet. Because even when you are bitter about anything, you don't like your own feelings. There are some, they always say, oh, I always like to be sweet, but I get bitter, which I don't like, right? So what we like is sweetness. But to imbibe that, as we say, that sweetness in your eyes, your face, your interaction with others, there should be sweetness. So Baba is telling us about inculcation of many other virtues can help us to have sweetness. Because everything, whether it is sugar, whether it's honey, anything as a process, right? How it is sweet. So even whether they add something when they are planting or they are sowing the seed, they will put little bit sugar or something. So today Baba is explaining us which qualities are required. I think you all can also, with your homework, when you want to implement something, when you want to be the embodiment of a virtue, then what you do, how you do it, and what are different stages should be experience of everyone. So your own experience of the day will help you to observe and to learn what else has to be done. Even Baba is giving us some of the steps which we should notice. So the homework is your proof of love. And when at Confluence Stage we talk of love, it begins with love with Baba. Everything at Confluence Stage begins with love for Baba. And then, of course, love for all the souls, love for nature, love as your own main eternal quality of the soul. So Baba says you will imbibe the virtue of your life in your life when you don't say anything of the past about anyone. Even what the person was last night, it was different, right? But if I maintain same drishti, this one said something last night which was not pleasant or which was bitter. So this morning your own sweetness will not be there. But last night was maybe that person was going through something internally. But I should remain sweet. So Baba says that past of yourself or others, even your own past, because that kind of internally, past has become past. But even if you said something or your thoughts was something which was not of that good quality, you have some kind of bitter feelings for your own self. And that is where really bitterness begins, is from your own lack of contentment. So it's very interesting, Baba says, past of yourself and others. Underline past of yourself or others. And Baba says you make your sanskar serene or easy. The virtue of serene nature of a soul, Baba said that the sweetness is visible. If your nature is, you forget the past, so you are clean, very light and serene. So Baba says that will be visible then in your eyes. That will be visible in your eyes. That will be visible in your words and also in your behavior. So Baba says, with the two virtues, sweetness and humility. Sweetness and humility. You can become a constant world benefactor. because humility is greatness. One who is great is always humble. Ego is like you trying to be something, but you are not that. If you are originally what you are, you will be humble. If you see a person who has everything in material life, they are free from desires, right? But there are some, they try to be that and have lot of desires, and that is also visible. So Baba says, with these two virtues of sweetness and humility, you can become constant world benefactor. Just think of world benefactor, a great donor, world benefactor, great donor, and the bestower of blessings. And you easily give proof of your love. If you feel God loves you, the proof is that you will love everyone. You will have respect for everything. It could be flowers, it could be nature, it could be birds, animals, whole creation of the universe, because they are together with human beings. Right? So when Baba speaks and give us homework or signal of the need of the present time for serving the world, we should feel that quality. And when you feel it, you experience that quality, it becomes very easy to be embodiment and for others to feel from you. So love and humility, your serene nature, all that makes you very sweet. Your eyes, your face, your behavior, everything will be full of the virtue of sweetness. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Avyakti
Om,
Parivar, Om Shanti Didi, and
Om Shanti.
happy Sat Guruvar. I want to ask you a question before I go into this sweet humility combo. I want to ask you that every time we offer bhog, particularly here in Queens, the mothers would look at the fruits that come, and if there isn't banana, they would go out and get banana. And I'm saying, why do we offer banana every single Thursday to Baba? He must be fed up of banana. Why are we giving him banana? They said, no, you have to give banana as part of the fruits. Otherwise, it's incomplete. So I was thinking of it. And I'm asking you the question now. On the path of bhakti, they say you have to please Hanuman first to get to Rama. Is this bhakti sanskara that you have to give Hanuman the banana first? And then you would know that you're going to get through to, if you please Hanuman, then you're going to get to God, you're going to get to Rama.
I I haven't heard that that mothers or it is essential to offer banana, but I know that the banana is the fruit which everyone can afford to buy, because grapes, apples, everything is more expensive. So I see banana as, for everyone can buy, and so they think that banana should be offered. I mean, that's what my logic is, but I'm not sure. And yeah, about this Rama and Hanuman, that story is because they always show they feed bananas to monkeys, right? When we come here to Mount Abu from Abu Road, I think they like every fruit but bananas, and they know how to peel bananas. Right? When you see them eating, they peel it. It's not they eat with the skin.
Right.
So I think definitely seems to be connection of banana and monkey, banana and vogue. But I don't know. I haven't heard much about it.
But this is going on week after week, and I keep saying we don't need banana. They would say, yes, we have to go out and get banana. So banana becomes the staple fruit for that bhog tray. But as you said, banana is one of the fruits. It's most hygienic to eat because you peel it and then you eat it. So anyway, for tomorrow's topic, Avyakti signal. According to the Ayurvedic diet, you need to have 6 different tastes to balance the doshas in the body. So one is sweet, one is sour, one is salty, one is pungent, like pickle, one is bitter, and one is astringent, which means flavor. It needs to carry a kind of a fragrance, a flavor. When I think of this sweetness that Baba is talking about, do you feel that for sweetness to really emerge in its fullness, there has to be all these different sanskaras that come together, like my sour sanskaras, my salty sanskaras, my pungent sanskaras, my bitter sanskaras, and the fragrant, the astringent, and then it comes together, and there's some kind of this mixture allows for real sweetness. Otherwise, sweetness can become like a veneer. It can become like an act that someone puts on. And they try to speak sweetly, but you want to say, shake them and say, be yourself, stop being that false sweetness. So I'm wondering, even though Baba says, don't think of the past, but I think that when these 6 tastes of the soul come together, it balances the soul in such a way that it allows for this easiness, this easy nature to emerge, and then that's the sweetness that one experiences.
This is Ayurvedic formula, but we have here Baba's formula.
Right.
And Baba's formula is to have many qualities, combine all those qualities, will create a natural serenity or sweetness in you. So in all those experiences of different taste and flavor, had been our experience from Copper Age and Iron Age. And it's not something new. And that is why when we eat something, we say, oh, it's very sour, it's very bitter. So that means there are sanskars or nature or taste in Copper Age and Iron Age. When we come to Confluence Age, our experience with Baba and knowledge and with our interaction with the souls create a real feeling of sweetness, because I don't think I had understood the word sweetness in eyes and face and our behavior. But when we come to Baba and we look at everyone as a soul and we give drishti, share drishti, and we say Om Shanti, there is sweetness. So I think that belonging to Baba, knowing each other as souls, definitely create sweetness in us. So I don't see it's a combination, but I definitely know that because we had been experiencing in Copper Age, Iron Age, all these tastes, so it emerges, every taste emerges. But then I know that, this soul consciousness and love of Baba has a kind of sweetness. We use word sweet, but just to feel when Baba says, sweet, sweet children, sweet, sweet children, sweet children understand. Baba uses word sweet. It's like, it's the quality. That means what Baba wants us to forget, to merge everything which is not sweet. And as much you keep merging, getting rid of that bitterness or sour or something, definitely natural sweetness. Like sugar is artificial sweet, but apple has natural sweetness, or grapes and banana. So fruit is sweet, but natural sweetness is different than eating toli, right?
Mm-hmm.
You will be asked not to eat toli, but fruits you can eat, right? So I feel that when Baba says sweet children, what emerges in us is our original quality of love and good relationships and the sweetness of that kind. Like somebody speaks very sweetly or says something nicely, we say, oh, how sweet of you, how sweet it is, like it's a sweetness which is very natural.
But that sweetness is usually expressed if that person does something that I like. But if the person does something that I don't like, then I wouldn't say how sweet of you. I would say something you should have known better, for instance. Now, if I say you should have known better in a sweet way, would that be acceptable?
I think so, should be, because like many ask question, should we correct someone, should we give direction, or I said one is giving correction, one is in a humble way, kind of when you say something in a not necessarily I will call sweet, but in the best manners, respectfully, appropriate words. So that kind of teaching, when it is shared, then the soul experiences sweetness.
So
So
therefore,
it's not question of the words or whether I should say or not. But let's say you have good wishes, you use very respectful words, that person will feel that sweetness.
because if those words come from the teachings and the teachings are true, then they will carry a humility with them. So this combination between this the sweetness, the gentleness, the serenity that Baba is talking about, plus the humility, would give the experience of care, of kindness, of gentleness to the other person. So the question is, would both sweetness and humility be grounded then in the Srimat that comes from the truth, that comes from the teachings?
And we have
Sweet then
example.
is a Srimat. Yeah.
We all have experience, and we Dadi Prakash Mani, of course, all Dadis was one of the example for all of us. And I know that she was sometimes very firm, but it didn't feel bitter. It feel like she is giving right advice. I remember few times I will ask, can I do this? She said no. So it was very firm. I don't have to do it. But I didn't feel bad. I didn't feel, I always remember why she said no. That advice and Srimad stayed with me in the life. So when you are coming from that original serenity and humility, I think whatever is said from them to us, not only it is sweet, but very well respected. And that becomes like our direction in the life, that I shouldn't do this or I should do it. So Dadi Prakash Mani comes so much in my mind, that the way she stayed firm, but then her smile, and it's like she said it and she forgets it. She's not holding anything. So sometimes we advise somebody, but what was the question? What that person meant? A lot of things stay very subtly in us. But if you somebody asks and you answer, and that serenity of not seeing the past stays, there is sweetness in relationships. I mean, it's not I felt, oh, I shouldn't now ask her because she's so strong. No, I felt good. I said somebody should really tell you things as they are instead of sweetening artificially, right?
Mm-hmm.
What they call sugar coated.
Right.
But yeah.
And so, like today, the passing with honors and waste thoughts was not to replay things. And so, for instance, if the daddies or you or anyone draw to our attention something that we need to be aware of, then the sweetness and humility on my part would be not to replay the words you have said, but to stay with the essence of what you wanted for me. And if I stay with that essence, and I'm not replaying your words, but I'm just holding on to the proof of your love for me. The proof of your love for me is to tell me, pay attention to this. That is when we will become the world benefactor, we will become the great donor, and we will become the bestower of blessings. Myself,
Yeah.
if I were to do that, then I would be able to express that for other people through the change that you wanted me to pay attention to. Does it work like that? But I have to accept it with a humility and no, saying that Sister Moni's got the best of interest when she says that to me or when she said that to me.
I mean, if we really want to understand what is Srimad, so when it comes from the seniors, in whatever way, and if I know this is Srimad, then my respect, my sweet relationship with that one will stay. But if comes out of sanskar, personality, then there is reaction in us. But even they are firm and strong, they say it, but say it because that's what Baba would have explained us, then we don't have reaction. We kind of internally say, yeah, that's what I should do. So that sweetness continues, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So finally, Calaban's father, Dada, left the body and we had a beautiful final rite ceremony for him. And someone was talking about him, one of the younger ones, Krishna, and she gave a quotation from him. And I think it's something that really could help us when we are working with humility and sweetness. And he called it a triple A. The first A is to avoid anything that would create a conflict. The second A is to accept whatever you see. It's like you're observing, but you're not absorbing. You're accepting it for what it is. And thirdly, you should adjust. And it was a quotation from him. And I thought, it was so profound.
Mm.
Apply the triple A to what Baba wants us to do tomorrow. And I think it will
Mhm.
become very easy.
Mm. That's great.
Mm.
That's sweet.
It is very sweet. And, he was very humble. So, yes, both of it were there in his personality. So, thank you, Didi. And let's practice tomorrow. And we'll show the proof of our love for Baba when we do these things. And I just want to tell you, things here, they're going fine. A lot of undercurrents, but on the surface, it's still very good. And gas price is now $4 a gallon.
Mm.
So it's going up. So we can't drive around too much because we have to save on gas. We walk more. So there are little things that are beginning to show, but hope to see you in April.
Yeah. Okay. Very good.
Om
Very
Shanti.
sweet.
Om Shanti. And I see Bhumi, how are you doing?
She said very sweet.
Is she very
Mhm.
sweet? Okay, she should take some sweet for that cough. I keep telling her that. Okay, Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.